not Komon-Tok, in case you don't know. Oh yeah. Whenever we pledge with love and loyalty to his sweet, sweet mamas alone. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make alone. Anytime where you pay, anytime where you go, anything you they do, oh yeah, now we for turn up Tanga one, inside Sierra Leone, let one big family, cause no place like home. In case you don't know, this not Komon-Tok, where they bring information about Salon. In case you don't know, this now Komon-Tok, where they bring information about Salon. For education, entertainment, political affairs, tune in Komon-Tok. For education, entertainment, political affairs, tune in Komon-Tok.
We the talk and clear from Sierra Leone to everywhere. Oh yeah. Come on, talk. Come make me hear. From the streets of Freetown to the world beyond, we dey yarn about the things we dey hold strong. Political talks, we no go shy. Migration stories should no go die. Entertainment, we go dance to the beat. Tell town well-being.
Yes. Welcome. All right, so Fambul, all right, but we go there first. First thing first, today the ECOWAS chairman has landed in Ouagadougou in Burkina Faso. That's not the lead story when we get here, and also the program we go look into Maada suspend the Chief Justice for further investigation misconduct, and we also look at we see. Yesterday we talked about the hardware in Canada country, and today we see some videos that they circulate on social media. They show Sujaman them more or less they train, but waiting doubt a lot of people why then the train within because they get barracks, they get places then we designated. They have designated places where they should be doing this training, but coming inside the towns. Probably a lot of people in the saying for send out a fear anyway. So we go look into that briefly. And also on the program, we will also pay attention on the new Public Service Act we then they introduce on the African scene, African affairs. South Africa don't take on Israel, accusing them of committing genocide in Gaza. And of course, on the global stage, you probably go to hear about Charlie Kirk. This is one of a controversial speaker, public speaker, when ally to President Julius, President Trump, where at 22 years old, be fired, killed. I'm sure if you follow international news, this is one of the news we make around the media generally, very, very, very serious. But today, finally, I don't charge the young man na court, charge her with murder, and we go pay attention a little bit of her. And as always, as you see, we jump packed here. We're not done with Komon-Tok then. Well, today now the 16th of September 2025. If you're just a journey, we want to welcome you with a different side. With a YouTube, with a Facebook, with a TikTok, with the Instagram, and so we feel comfortable for watch. We definitely appreciate that. Me now, Mr. Komon-Tok. We can just now for comfort party. She's a better one.
Oh, yeah. This now Komon-Tok, in case you don't know. Yeah. We pledge with love and love.
All right, so straight to the point. We not get nothing for waste. First, we ask the question: wetin trigger Maada Bio in presence one Ouagadougou? Is it diplomacy? Is it probably what they say face saving? Is it probably because the Komon-Tok platform going at the ground, and maybe they see some of the those images, and perhaps they use that opportunity for go land, because nobody know they like what they can say. We all interrelated, we all interconnected when it comes to development. When one side of the polar they do, they carry out reforms, or they carry out developmental work where beneficial, or the one they talk about. Every serious, if someone is serious enough for governing country, I think the right thing for do for visiting, ask and learn how they get it right. Well, we don't know, but one of the things what we just know, we clearly now for let it go force through diplomacy for bring back Ibrahim Traoré now the ECOWAS bloc. Before we come on here, will be the struggle, because we already don't get a partnership now Burkina Faso with a local journalist where would give you updates reporting. And I don't know if in the internet or whatever we try for reach him, but we'll get but obviously we'll get maybe tomorrow. Definitely we'll send a message for him. Anyway, follow up on this visit. But waiting them put officially, what we see officially now for strengthening bilateral bilateral tie between ECOWAS and the the alliance. These three guys that don't form they call themselves ESC. They don't form an alliance where more or less pose a challenge now to ECOWAS. But I just want to be clear here. I don't feel say any amount of efforts go there from Maada Bio for convince Ibrahim Traoré for making relinquish power or for like it join the bloc. I don't see. Because I have been on the ground, I witness our people and the support, the public opinion of Burkina Faso for for making them independent is huge. So I'm sure this is something where I believe no amount of pressure, no amount of political intimidation, no amount of sweet talk will probably change the mind of those guys. They have already made up their mind, and they are doing fantastic, at least to some extent, to African level. Imagine in just 3 years, these guys are rolling out massive infrastructural projects. I mean, we are talking about flyovers, we are talking about stadiums, we are talking about airports. We are talking about manufacturing companies. They are opening up the space, the mining companies, and the country, at least at this point, seems to be moving in the right direction. So tell me, I think it's the American saying, don't fix let me just get this word. Don't fix it if it is not broken. I think it's an American adage. If it is not broken, don't fix it. That's so. If something not poor, don't fix it. So if the Sahel and if the Sahel, the junta guys are getting it right, why would they decide? Why would they, in their own way? In fact, by even rejoining ECOWAS could probably spell doom for them. It could also lead to their downfall. That is why the visits of Maada Bio, perhaps it just, like I said, it's a face 70s. Perhaps maybe you just want to, because we know him for sure. He loves traveling all over the world. He has been one of the most traveled. I don't know who's, anyway. Let me just put on let just show now something.
Et puis cette information en bref et en image, avant de poursuivre, le président de la République de la Sierra Leone, Dr Julius Maada Bio, est arrivé ce mardi à Ouagadougou pour une visite de travail et d'amitié. Il a été accueilli à sa descente d'avion par le président du Faso, chef de l'État, le capitaine Ibrahim Traoré. Après les honneurs militaires, le cortège a mis le cap sur le palais présidentiel de Koulba. Les deux présidents auront une séance de travail élargie à leur délégation, suivi d'un huis clos entre les présidents, le capitaine Ibrahim Traoré et Dr Julius Maada Bio. Ils discuteront de plusieurs sujets importants pour les deux pays, comme le renforcement de la coopération bilatérale, la simplification des échanges et les questions régionales et internationales. C'est la deuxième visite du chef de l'État sierra-léonais au Burkina Faso depuis l'accession du capitaine Ibrahim Traoré à la magistrature suprême de notre pays, ce qui traduit l'excellence des relations entre Ouagadougou et Freetown.
All right, so Fambuna Santa
Maada chef de l'État, le capitaine Ibrahim Traoré.
You see this cap, this the symbol, this cap will also large. Just the other they are town now, but this cap, this one where we at shown us. So this now then you pride Nandi. Now then you pride this one. This are then you pride Burkina Faso. Then pride this when you go there as a stranger. These are one of the best gifts sold in the queue. And I didn't give Maada Bio, so one of the best gifts. So and ISO. But why this is important? Because it's not just a cultural thing. It also helped them for fetch the sun. As soon as I know, the sun, a boy picking it, being by himself. So I just say, what I say, just bring me on with a souvenir for myself, and for the Komon-Tok anyway. For the Komon-Tok anyway. So again, let me look into something very serious. Not just aside, These guys, let me see what the government of Sierra Leone puts. All right, let's share what the government of Sierra Leone puts regarding that visit we just shown us. So, and this is what they said. It's a quick one. The chairman of ECOWAS Authority, President Julius, welcomed head of state Captain Ibrahim Traoré on arrival on a one-day state visit. Julius Maada Bio, Republic of Sierra Leone President ECOWAS was warmly received at the ECOWAS International Airport. At the Ouagadougou International Airport by Burkina Bay head of state Captain Ibrahim Traoré as he arrived for a one-day working visit. During this visit, President Bio is scheduled to hold a bilateral meeting with Captain Traoré, where both leaders will explore avenues for strengthening cooperation between ECOWAS and the AEC members country. Discussion will also focus on regional security challenges and ways to deepen bilateral relations between Sierra Leone and Burkina Faso. President Bio makes history as the first chair of the ECOWAS Authority to visit an AES member state since the AES establishment, highlighting its commitment to fostering closer ties and collaboration between the two organizations. Last August, in his capacity as president of United Nations Security Council, President Bio also visited Burkina Faso, gaining direct insight into the country's security situation and engaging in broader discussion concerning issues affecting the Sahel region. All right, so again, let's face this. This is just a joke, honestly. From which we understand behind the scene, you can't just change these people overnight because, look, ECOWAS is a failed bloc. We just therefore say, sometimes they can say, call a spade a spade. ECOWAS literally is a failed bloc. See what happened in Guinea back then, Alpha Condé ruled for 2 terms. He changed the constitution. He rigged the election. He killed people, hundreds of people. And then the very ECOWAS went and congratulated him. The ECOWAS. That's for you, the ECOWAS. So then we don't lose the relevance. The relevance of ECOWAS, they don't diminish their light, their power, their strength. So all of these efforts now, where they build them, okay, according to the official discussion here, then the ECOWAS one partner with the alliance and the AIC, and then they want to partner with them. But then they also get a stake. What do we understand? Then gets just I don't know if I will pull this. I get one tiwa beyond shout, and I don't know. I don't know if I will get this. Then gets a body, a special. Okay, now left landed because until it will take me some time for bringing come up. All right. So the alliance for the Sahel region, these guys then get a separate body and get security arrangements already they don't put in place. Now, one of the things that possibly you go give an accolade to this man. Before now, the Burkina Faso, 50% of the country was captured or was controlled by insurgents or rebels or maybe terrorists, as they call them. But for now, according to what we learned there, 75% of the country is under the government control. So when it comes to security-wise, they have done a little bit far ahead of waiting perhaps ECOWAS to do. They do. Imagine these guys they were part of the bloc. I mean, I think I'm trying to, at the time, for create the premises, let people understand. Burkina Faso be the part of the ECOWAS, then set up this regional body for not only economic-wise, but also for security. Why ECOWAS fail for protect Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger? Why? Because they're incapacitated, because they don't have the will, because they don't have the manpower to do so. But imagine when Niger left power, when Ibrahim Traoré left power, he was able to take more than, you don't take 75% of the country. I don't know if it makes sense to we. So why will somebody who managed to win over 25%, because before now, the country was divided. 50% belonged to the insurgents and 50% belonged to the government. And with the advent of Ibrahim Traoré, is now controlling 75% of the country. And back then, Burkina Faso was part of ECOWAS. What did ECOWAS do for her? What did ECOWAS do? What kind of support? What kind of help? I think now what I say a no-brainer. For there, you don't get up to 75% of the country, though you allow back, then you can go to an organization where boast for having all military power, all diplomacy, they're not able to help you internally for solve your problem. Does that make sense? It don't just make any sense. So yes, of course, Maada Bio can go as much as he wants. Maybe, like I said, maybe not because of Mr. Komon-Tok in visit, whatever the case may be. I'm sure what he go see in Burkina Faso, it must get if you know, even if you don't even implement some of those, where you go left now, I'd say yes, there, developments don't take place there in 3 years. The reason why I like for compare 3 years to other, because in Africa, the leaders and sometimes, the project today, if you see what today they do inside 5 years, 10 years, and when he compared to what this man do in 3 years, I think he must get an accolade in the sense that he's under sanction. And even the projects, now self-sponsored projects, they have not been sponsored by IMF or World Bank. Now, self-sponsored. You know what I can say? Self-made. I don't know if one of the singers, I think A-class member, A-class Shady Baby Bar, what I give them. Now remember, self-made. I'm self-made. Burkina Faso seems to be self-made. So yeah. So this is the visit. But like I said, we go follow up with the partner where we get now Burkina Faso for giving more insight. We get a lot for rollouts. We don't want to talk whole thing. What you want to do, I just give a half load as a snippet. Probably in the next few weeks to come, I think when I go for the gets, maybe once a week, a real happening from Burkina Faso. We are working on it. We don't, any sort of must create relationship, so. That's all they we don't go make party than they. We get opportunity to talk with government officials behind the scenes, some of them and friendly and ready for input information. And we also get the opportunity back then for talk with civil society there off camera. Because look, Naso Jamana ending at the con. I'll just get to tell you this, the fact. There are people who are complaining in Burkina Faso, of course, this is true. Yes. So we talk with both sides, So when we get for come up with a documentary, it get for be more or less balanced. It's gonna be factual. We did grand truthing. We are gonna report nothing except the truth, nothing but the truth. So again, let me come to which we detail for analyze and cover now. these guys are gone probably for a very long time. And also not going to ever come back like ECOWAS, but I want to believe with the advancements in terms of development in this. In fact, if you understand what did happen in Niger, where be they on the brink of collapse. If you check international news right now, France, technically, they are on the brink. 5 governments in just 2 years. 5 governments. 5 governments. This is because France has been benefiting hugely from these Francophone countries. 14 African countries were under the umbrella of France. Then country, according to waiting the arrangements, then get to then say colonial tax, meaning that waiting France be don't invest, where then go force them for colonize them, they have to pay that money back. And besides, more than 60% of their money should be transferred to the central bank in Paris, in France. Now, when then country disintegrates, for example, the Burkina Faso, the Mali, the Niger, then come out, it shake France big. And besides, you see Senegal and SSF don't pull the last base of France. So the influence of France is waning away. And some of the free resources that we get from the African countries, it's no longer forthcoming. And in fact, in current times, France is the new Greece. If you remember some years ago, Greece was like, wouldn't say credit crunch. They were on the verge of collapse. Their economy was weak and they were struggling. But the reverse is now the opposite of and Greece back then, and France. Why? Because mainly them be the able from the money them they get from the Francophone countries there for support welfare programs there. And now the last government will break down in France that because the prime minister suggests not to suggest if you want cut 5 billion on expenditure, you want reduce the budget by 5 billion. Because of that sparked massive protests. And that's good. And up till now, small protests they go on. But what will they try for talk? France began the opportunity to transform these colonies. France begets this opportunity. Okay, now the guy will be the time for calls to the call now. Okay, all right. Okay, we'll talk to her later. I don't know if it makes sense for put on live now and ask. I don't know. Family, Lord just see if we go. Lord just Nabia will see if I will able to talk to this man. If he go able to give it, Lord just put her off force.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This now Komon-Tok. In case you don't know. Oh, yeah. Whenever we pledge with love and loyalty to his sweet mamas alone. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make alone. Anytime where you day, anytime where you go, anything you they do. Oh yeah, now we for turn up Tanga one inside Sierra Leone. Let one big family, cause no place like home. In case you don't know, this now Komon-Tok, where they bring information about Salone. In case you don't know, this now Komon-Tok, where they bring information about Salone. For education, entertainment, political affairs, tune in Komon-Tok. For education, entertainment, political.
It's okay. So fam will not just left her. We're not able to get much now because of society. So so what's the time for talk now? I just want to put something clear. France be they get the uranium where then be they used for power and nuclear energy on almost free of charge. Whilst the country will be the producer, Niger, then they on massive blackouts in the import electricity from Nigeria. How wicked is it? The level of wickedness, you're unforgivable. But now When this new leader come, they nationalize the uranium, then they make more money. In fact, they produce electricity now. And in fact, they don't even discover oil again. So this is the reason why I feel say the three countries, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, I think now a no-brainer for feeling decide for go ECOWAS. Lord, just stop that side. Don't know waste too much time. We'll keep that posted. Of course, when I know say we did the we like their conversation the much what they count do now. Another all right, another issue where we want to talk about, I'm sure plenty people don't see this one on social media. President Julius Maada Bio don't suspend Justice Alloway. The reason why they suspend her, I'll just pause for suspension as a judge, dear Justice Alloway, pursuant to family. It looks hot here. All right, so this we see this circulating on social media. It reads, pursuant to the provision of Section 137, subsection C of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, 1991, Act Number 6 of 1991, and acting in accordance with the advice of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission at a meeting held on the 5th September 2025, I write to convey that His Excellency, the President, hereby suspends you as judge of the Superior Court of Judicature with immediate effect until the outcome of a disciplinary tribunal instituted to investigate your conduct sincerely. All right, that's the part of the democracy. Now, normally they will say we have three arms of government and they are independent and there is checks and balances. But what we are seeing in most of the democracies, that is not what not that's the happen, because say like the president, particularly the real instance, the president is like we say the supreme, the primus inter pares, now in more or less, the flank or they overshadow all other the organs, So this one, we don't know more detail why they decide for suspended. It's not because of some misconduct. And well, maybe as time goes on, we go fully understand why then decide for suspender. One of the area back where we want to pay attention. Family, this one, let's see what's in the happen. It's strange to a lot of people. Yesterday, we caught a video where governments, not just put for now waiting, I hope so in this. Okay. Yesterday, we came up with a video where they say governments buy some vehicles for the military. And we see this video by the circulating on social media. We don't know if in a mind game, we don't know if in a thread. We don't know because, like I said, there are designated places that we are in. We know, say, officials, the military personnel can go and train where they're necessary. Or maybe sometimes I'm gonna younger. We don't know why they do this in the middle of the city, in the middle of town. If at all, this something will go by. All right, so let's just play for now. This video seems to be circulating on social media, and we serve, of course, as always, waiting the trend. Now we talk. Komon-Tok.
Today, when on September 10th, 2025, we did Don Wataki, we see plenty sojaman to rock them down come. Yes, this is now President Julius Maada Bio, now in Biden to.
All right, so the reason we make with you now that a recap of the truck they would say then come, and for join this one, we know that against for we military personnel be on the high alert preparedness, but the question is, why did they do it inside town? Why, you know, why they for publicizer, you know? But one thing was clear, where I know for sure, we get something where a lot of people at the point, the hungry lions, they were on social media, you know, threatening civilians, you know, we will kill now, iron brush. But now we have a real issue, where they for go face their counterparts there. We are nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be found. So is it because now all the civilians we not get gone when they threatening? Is it because we not get gone? Hungry lion, this is not for you. Now then tell for the see hungry lion, they team up. Hungry lion supposed for they now what they say forefront. Hungry lion for the seer by then tear. But you go all AK-47, you go all machine gun. You go all RPG for civilian. Now cowardness now. You coward. And I go show oneself now younger. But anyway, like I say, as always, these are part of the trending issues where they circulate on social media. But one of the new thing where governments want to introduce, where a lot of people they praise governments on that. Now the idea of okay, not in this. Government one creates this Public Service Act. The Public Service Act go serve as a platform, as a way for integrate, you know, policies and together, make them work, synchronize them, you know, because it seems as if for now things and just scatter around. But if you get like a one-shop stop all, wherein everything will be more or less a central point for connect, or there is a policy actually, because you know without a strong policy, again, you get issues in how then they are going to interplay. Well, we don't get a lot of them discussions here. A lot of governments, Marabian government, when it comes to making theoretical statements, them, if you're not greedy no more, you go get an A1. If you're not greedy, you will get an A1. Then count this single treasury account. Back then, the money be scatter, not so they pay under, and say, well, the solution for reduce corruption, the solution for reduce massive or maybe the leakages, and for count a single treasury account, not put one pot, where in all the money they come out. But for now, even when we get the amount of money where they come out, where they lost. Few days ago, SEC, you know, the biggest joke of the city now, you know. I mean, sometimes I can see them press release, with all these, you can just look, you know what, love several people there, not all TV, not just because they don't turn comedian. The single treasury report, the idea was beautiful. The idea was nice. The idea in practical, it makes sense. But it looked like what encounter, it just come for one point, for for very few group of people. People and they get the chance now for going inside that one pot that one cash, that cash box now for pool. When they pull, not they pull small now, they pull heavy. Look like the other money would be take that more than 35 billion leons. More than 35 billion. How that case they go, they will not know. So even when they count this policy now, I don't try for count it. I don't try to do connection, yes, do some genealogy now, yeah. But say it's good when this public service with the integrate card, you know. Sometimes I don't know if it's just a way of just maybe for say with the work, now this will they do. But when it actually comes to the practical way where it will benefit the ordinary people or the country as a whole, now something wouldn't say far-fetched. It's far-fetched. Anyway, now we bring an account to now. Now we drop them for now. Just a second, it depends for finish now for load. Now I waiting the minister be they say, but maybe sometime open the line, you will tell me if not something where we really need at this time. Just a second, it's still a load up Naya. Okay, we can. Yeah, family will be away small. Still live try for complaints. Late for put on, sometimes. All right. If you know, we will put another one on. Okay, I think it's okay. All right. Sorry about that. We apologies. Apologies for that.
The Honorable Minister, Mr. Amara Kalon, for take 10 minutes for tell we revamping the public service na salon. What's that with this, sir?
For the first time in the history of this country, we try to establish a public service policy and act. We will create the platform for that to coordinate the entire public service of Sierra Leone. We get a lot of institutions the way they say they have to part of the public service. But we already defined that in a chapter now, in the new constitution of Sierra Leone. That chapter is going to be a new one in constitution when we can. But we also want to get a public service act and the executive clearance in the year from 2014 that we established now. But now we will get the opportunity and the right framework for the so the policy in our cabinet now. We don't need for 1 month now because cabinet will sit, but hopefully once the next cabinet sits, we'll get the approval. Then we will engage with the Minister of Justice for developing the bill. And by the end of this year, by God's grace, we will get the first public service act for Sierra Leone. We're going to tell you how to go about service. Very interesting. I know say many people don't see social media now. We get one company called Humans. Humans now a national IT industry owned and run by a Sierra Leonean. We don't go into an agreement for them to develop the largest and most of Sierra Leone human resource hub. So from October this year till December, not go surprise if you know big servant or civil servant when you work now, you know if you sign the attendance. Now digital attendance now we move into. We go into digital attendance, they apply at the phone, you reach now your office, you plug into the system, the recording. So now we can measure attendance as a competence for your promotion or for upgrading to the next stage and civil service area. Then also they developed a digital recruitment process, and that digital recruitment process, now in order for go take PSC from 18 in our PSC, now online, they advertise, you apply online, recruitment, everything they say, whether you don't go through or not, you don't get business.
That's not the policy where they're in place. Of course, like I said, there's always you must give them the credits if you're not greedy. But the reality now we'll look at. We go on at the international news quickly on the African stage as South Africa, of course, in the blast of South Africa don't blast Israel for the ongoing war in Gaza. We can just.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
This now Komon-Tok.
I take the floor in explanation of vote on the resolution endorsement of the New York Declaration on the peaceful settlement of the question of Palestine and implementation of the two-state solution. We express our gratitude to you for convening this meeting and thank the co-chairs, France and Saudi Arabia, for a successful high-level international conference for peaceful settlement of the question of Palestine and the implementation of the two-state solution. This is a very important and long overdue matter. We also thank the co-chairs of the various working groups for their efforts in the build-up to and during the high-level conference in July. As we meet here today, the killings in Gaza are unabating. The genocide continues without any hope that it will soon end. The state of Israel continues to act with impunity and without fear of being held accountable. In recent days, it has extended its illegal actions by now also attacking Qatar in a blatant violation of international law, breaching the principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity, while also compromising the safeguarding of civilians, as outlined in the United Nations Charter and international humanitarian law.
All right, so Israel now a country where I'm sure all over the world, if I will quote the words of I think now the Russian president, who said human rights stops at Israel. International law interpretation stops at Israel door. Meaning, if what in Israel did do, now what Israel did do, now any other country, when they're within, let's say, when they're in favorable terms with the West, the media for go bust. Few weeks ago, Israel go to Yemen, it killed an entire government, the prime minister, the defense, the diplomats, they killed them all. Imagine a whole cabinet, a bomb, it killed them. You hear from the Western media faintly. Imagine Israel go to Qatar, then meet the Hamas leaders in. Trump sent proposal for make them review on the policy, and peace proposal where they get the is a bomb. The very place, very south of the dependency done for arrange, for discourse issues like how they will release the hostage, how they will get ceasefire. 5 of Hamas key leaders there and 1 Qatarian killed. When what did happen at Gaza, it's unbelievable. In real time, we see what in the take place. Civilians have been starved to death. Now, some of these figures, it come up from young people themselves. More than 60 to 70,000, and this is just a moderate figure that people who don't kill, and 1/3 of them are picking them. According to the UN, there are certain key UN Convention on War. There are certain key places in the church there: the mosques, the hospital, the let's say religious places there. There UNESCO heritage sites there, universities there. But that's not happening in Gaza. Israel, they will do anything. Oh my God. But again, like I say, you get to take your time within the media. Particularly like where we get, if you say they come every day, they talk about Israel, what did they do? Not to say they make allegation, no. That's and what when they say, like, I don't know how they will talk the words for them they glitchy, whether they say they get right to defend themselves. But now it look like the public, the global opinion don't they change. Whilst people they sympathize with them when Hamas be attacked them on October 7, where they kill more than 1,000 people, abduct other people, the tide don't change because when they can say too much of one thing is good for nothing. I mean, you don't kill the leaders and you don't displace people and about 2 million people and now waiting at them they want annex, they want to take the entire enclave and people and they and I don't just care, but something, even though some of you know say if we continue for talk issue, but once in a while, for the sake of humanity, they bring this one for make at least but then listen to other partners in. Even UK plan to recognize Israel, the France, Australia, Canada, because they seems to be tired with war after war, every 2-3 months war, it's just too chaotic. But anyway, now that's some more we go touch on now. I think like another one we'll go look into quickly, Charles Kirk's in killing one. And finally, they don't charge Tyler Robinson for another one. They can listen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The evidence law enforcement has collected thus far, I am filing a criminal information charging Tyler James Robinson, age 22, with the following crimes. Count 1, aggravated murder, a capital offense for intentionally or knowingly causing the death of Charlie Kirk under circumstances that created a great risk of death to others. Count 2, felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, a first-degree felony. The state is further alleging aggravating factors on counts 1 and 2 because the defendant is believed to have targeted Charlie.
All right, so that's not the charges only they be against Tyler Robinson, where we kill Charles. But analysts put their own way in about the danger of the free speech. Oh, listen this one about this man in legacy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Basically, there's a ton of free speech out there. We've probably never had as much free speech in terms of volume on the internet, on political platforms, demonstrations happening virtually on a weekly basis in the center of London. The one today, organized by the far right. There's a counter one as well. But is the problem that actually the free speech has also become more and more hateful speech, and that's what people are reacting to?
Yeah, I mean, the free speech debate, other than the absolutists that believe in absolute free speech, which is a very small minority, has always been a question of where is the line between acceptable and unacceptable speech. And clearly in the age of social media, many people whose voices would have traditionally been marginalized throughout the whole post-war period because they were extreme, and as such they wouldn't have been allowed on television, they wouldn't have been platformed on the radio or given columns in newspapers. In the age of social media, the most extreme individuals in our society can now reach hundreds of thousands, or in many cases now even millions and millions of people. And so if the social media platforms, for example, do end up with an absolutist American-style attitude towards the First Amendment, like X under Elon Musk, then we do see very, very extreme voices reaching millions and millions of people in a way that was much more difficult some decades ago.
Okay, so for instance, an example, Charlie Kirk said lots of things that many people found very offensive, and he said lots of things that, many more people probably agreed with. But one of the things, for instance, was, and I quote, "Islam is the sword with which the radical left is slicing the neck of America, cutting the throat of America." Is that hate speech or is that free speech?
Well, I mean, I preface all of this by saying no matter what he said, it is completely appalling what happened to him, and there's never any excuse for political violence. But I think there's lots of people that have been talking about Charlie Kirk in the last week as though he was a relatively mainstream figure. We saw Boris Johnson talk about him as though he was espousing generally mainstream or just slightly conservative views. He espoused many, many extreme views that I think would sit comfortably in any academic definition of the far right, and regularly did cross the line into what would be deemed as hate speech, certainly under British definitions of it.
Right. And do you think that we are becoming Americanized in the sense that we're opening the door to speech that once upon a time would have been deemed unacceptable, both from the right and the left?
Yeah, I do actually, and I think this is just perhaps a symptom of us living in a globalized world in the digital age. But I think increasingly the free speech debate in Britain does look more American in style. And of course, in America, they have a very different tradition of free speech than we do, perhaps in Britain and large parts of Europe, which is they have the First Amendment. In many ways, that is the first right. It is the most fundamental right. Whereas I think traditionally in Britain, going back many, many decades or even hundreds of years, free speech, although very fundamental in Britain, has been one of a number of competing rights. And so people also have a right not to be attacked, not to be abused, not to be racially abused, etc. And those rights compete. And we have a discussion and a societal debate about where those lines should be. Increasingly, I feel we're shifting to a much more American style, where any discussion about putting parameters around acceptable and unacceptable speech in our society is somehow now criticised as a wild enemy of the free speech. We saw Nigel Farage coming along these sorts of lines when he addressed the American Senate recently in a committee about the Online Safety Act. These debates now have shifted fundamentally, where all of a sudden the universal attitude towards free speech is that there should be almost no parameters put around what's acceptable. British society is far more like the American debate than it was previously in the UK. And I think that comes with dangerous consequences. And we're seeing the result of that today, where we're very likely to see on the streets of London perhaps the largest ever far-right demonstration in British history, led by Tommy Robinson. And Tommy Robinson is a great example of a figure that, because he has been platformed by major social media platforms and been able to reach tens or hundreds of millions of people with his content over the years, he's having a radicalizing effect on sections of British society. And if you really believe in free speech, if you really believe that we should have a fundamentally public square on our social media, for example, then you have to understand that if you allow a completely laissez-faire attitude to what can be on that platform, then people self-censor. Women remove themselves from the platform because they don't want to receive death threats. People of color in the Muslim community remove themselves from X because they are tired of getting racially abused every day.
All right, so that's part of the analysis when it comes to Charlie Kirk. It depends on the Sarway team up. I'm sure plenty of people now don't follow around. It's controversial, and a lot of people they will accuse him for being a racist, even though he denied. But it goes as far back even for bringing issues like George Floyd. It's not a police killer, and he talks some kind of thing where really offend a lot of people. And he even go back to Martin Luther King. You know, he even say rapist. You know. To some extent, you go see a free speech just like within an but there's a boundary to anything what you do. Like we don't endorse any killing of anybody with political violence don't get space in any part of the world. But these are the arguments. Why should people in like because of in Christian perspective, in Christian view, they say it affects for in religion for Muslim not dominate America, make but these are the kind of things that we normally far-right activists there can pose the religion because they know it's a sensitive topic, particularly in the West. Well, we'll keep it posted on that. The Owl killer, where a lot of people in the field say something would be an immigrant or probably a Muslim. It turned out to be somebody else. And that make it the media go quiet because not to the campus way, like what they can say, racial profiling, what they expect it, and for don't do the act there. This now somebody wouldn't say one of us. I don't know if you're the mayor of Utah or I don't know if you're a governor, where in speech shock a lot of people, and now we're not get time again for bringing come now Twitter, where say it be the hope for say the pursuit killer. Not one of them. Yeah, it shock a lot of people. So you're already young, so as a premeditated. You wish for it happen to so let the media go wild. But now the world they live today, especially social media now, it don't become so so powerful now. Once you get your platform, you get things the way they raise up, certain you must get followers there. And particularly if you're a radical person, we don't get on continent so. Check Nigeria, you get that dark man, not so. This guy back, this Charlie, the dark man in America, and a Trumping party, he gets some, and they talk anything, everything, like what I say, just what's if you for talk like they talk, just care. And one of the arguments people employ, they go back to the school, from school to school, they debate speaking them, some people say, well, they sell or they indoctrinate it's on the picking away na innocent picking and for left the picking and go up, but then get their own thinking for make them able to know what's in a hate or let them make their own decision rather than you go influence them. Whatever the case may be, every country gets their kind sort of people there. Yeah, now you can Tom Robinson, where Tommy don't of course it organized one of the biggest one of the biggest far-right protests, perhaps in the history of this country, where the earthquake is simple. They don't want immigrants. They don't want Muslims. They want the country back. This are the thing. And it flopped all over, even though the mainstream media downplay. But if you check, there's 150,000. No, it's far more than that. Far more than that. This is how the world is being, globalization is shifting, and nationalism is taking center hold. It's in the mainstream now. Okay, so from now, the top of the program. If you just join, we want to tell you plenty. Thank you. Today will be a discourse about Maada Bio in visit to Burkina Faso. As they try for, according to the official report, forget a bilateral agreement, talks with Ibrahim Traoré. Well, we also know say they try for bring them back to the ECOWAS. And of course, Maada Bio don't suspend justice all the way. And we see some social mandate, they want to do some military exercises within the city. And Sierra Leone forgets Public Service Act. And of course, the African news, South Africa versus Israel, and the world news, Charlie Kirk issue. Well, any one of the issues where you think say you're interested of, you're interested, you are at the voice, you're more than welcome. Would it take 1 minute 44 seconds where we can do the mic? We can just leave.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This now Komon-Tok, in case you don't know. Oh, yeah. Whenever we pledge with love and loyalty to a sweet mamas alone. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go mix alone. Anytime where you stay, anytime where you go, anything you they do, it no matter. Oh yeah, it no matter. Now we for turn up Tanga one inside Sierra Leone. Let one big family, cause no place like home. In case you don't know, this not Komon-Tok. Where to bring information about Salone. In case you don't know, this not Komon-Tok. Where to bring information about Salone. For education, entertainment, political affairs. Tune in, Komon-Tok. For education, entertainment, political affairs. Tune in, Komon-Tok.
Right, so yeah, family, we don't kind of the other side of the program. We are now you turn for talk. Right.
That he leave the office in order.
All right, so now we start with the comment side. I just finish setting up this one. All right, so we start with Jim. Jay is saying, I'll just put this first. Yeah, so Jay is saying, the Middle East are proposing a NATO of Middle East countries to counter Israel war activities. Yeah. That's Jeff from YouTube. Mohammed Kanu, they say the God Almighty, Allah is the greatest. Yeah, Conte from YouTube, like and share. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And this one, they come from Gladys Kanu from Facebook. SEC, na the biggest criminal. Martin Conte from YouTube, they say, Hungry Lion, the afraid Guinea soldier. It's a and be interested anyway. I'll just cross. This one is from Zana Bangura. I said they want to go to Burkina Faso. Zana Bangura. Oh, really? Wow. Yes. Yeah, Bintu K, thank you for joining us. Bintu from YouTube. This one is from Mayor Bank. It say it's not only the ECOWAS, but the entire elected leadership of Africa and the AU. They have been discussing issues for over 4 decades since nothing significant has happened in Africa. Yeah, you know, you're right. And the parents' body now, AU, especially in the case of the Sahel genocide, the terrorists or the insurgents behind take over, you know. What in them institutions here do? The AU, the ECOWAS, nothing much. Anyway, this one they come up from Almami Bangura. It said Bio's travel to the UK is now manifesting. He was there as an errand boy for these colonial slave masters. And this one they come up from Isatu. It's a best traveling award-winning president, Bio, from YouTube. This one they come out from Bigger Marvin. They say he won't go to class before 2028. Bio, it's too late. Now try for pack and go. And yeah, that's my, that's me, dear friend. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, Kelvin CC, thank you for joining us. Right, so Fumble look like today would end the program so much earlier than yesterday. And hopefully, I'm not entirely sure, but tomorrow maybe we could come. But definitely we get a way of communicating with Una. If he at all will not come, we go Una go know. But if we come again, Una they know. But there are high chances probably to maybe, just maybe tomorrow, maybe Mr. Komon-Tok not go able to join the program. Until then, me and Mr. Komon-Tok, we see yourself maybe, if not tomorrow, next tomorrow. Now bye-bye.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This now Komon-Tok, in case you don't know. Oh, yeah. Whenever we pledge with love and loyalty to a sweet mamas alone. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make alone. Anytime where you day, anytime where you go, anything you they do, oh yeah, now we for turn up Tanga one, inside Sierra Leone, like one big family, cause no place like home. In case you don't know, This not Komon-Tok. Where they bring information about Salone. In case you don't know, this not Komon-Tok. Where they bring information about Salone. For education, entertainment, political affairs. Tune in, Komon-Tok. For education.
From politics to health, we stand firm. Migration of us, we confirm. Komon-Tok, place to be with the young. I'm care for you and me. Komon-Tok, oh yeah, we did. For the future, we pave the way. We talk about the health, we need them for survive. Make the system better so people could thrive. Entertainment, they speak the music, the flow. But we still go on the things we need to know. Political leaders, they gonna hear the cry. We could talk, come here, no we know go line. Now Komon-Tok, we did stand for the truth. Make we rise for the sake of the youth. Ooh, Komon-Tok, you gon' hear me loud. We no go hide, we gon' make me proud. From Salone to the wall, we dey stand tall. Come here, we are. Oh yeah, we message for. Komon-Tok, this how we voice. Armies who we make the choice. From politics to health, we stand firm. Migration of us, we confirm. Komon-Ok, a place to be with a young. I'm clear for you and me. Komon-Tok, oh yeah, we did. For the future, we pave the way. Now we the young, for better tomorrow. No more tears, no more sorrow. We go shine the light, the truth must show. Komon-Tok, together we go grow. Feel the rhythm, feel the beat. Komon-Tok, where the minds go meet. Komon-Tok, this how we voice. Armies look, we they make the choice. From politics to health, we stand firm. Migration of us, we they confirm. Komon-Tok, a place to be with a young. I'm clear for you and me. Komon-Tok, oh yeah, we did. For the future, we pave the way. Komon-Tok, ooh yeah. We talk on real, make we yeah. From Freetown to the world, we spread the news. Komon-Tok, on the platform we choose. We the talk and right, we the talk and clear. From Sierra Leone to everywhere, oh yeah. Komon-Tok, come make me hear. From the streets of Freetown to the world beyond, we dey yarn about the things we dey hold strong. Political talks, we no go shy. Migration stories should no go die. Entertainment, we go dance to the beat. Tell town well-being, make we rise from the seat. It's not a platform, we go speak the truth for the young and the old. Now we voice, we do. Ooh, Komon-Tok, you gon' hear me loud. We no go hide, you gon' make me proud. From Salone to the world, we dey stand tall. Come here, we are. Oh yeah, we message for. Komon-Tok, this how we voice. Armies who we make the choice. From politics to health, we stand firm. Migration of us, we confirm. Komon-Tok, a place to be with a young. I'm clear for you and me. Komon-Tok, oh yeah, we did. For the future, we pave the way. We talk about the health, we need them for survive. Make the system better so we people could thrive. Entertainment, they speak the music, the flow. But we still go on the things we need to know. Political leaders, they gonna hear the cry. We could talk, come here, no we know go line. Now Komon-Tok, we did stand for the truth. Make we rise for the sake of the youth. Ooh, Komon-Tok, you gon' hear me loud. We no go hide, you gon' make me proud. From Salone to the wall, we dey stand tall. Come here, we are. Oh yeah, we message for. Komon-Tok, this how we voice. Armies who we make the choice. From politics to health, we stand firm. Migration of us, we confirm. Komon-Tok, a place to be with a young. I'm clear for you and me. Komon-Tok, oh yeah, we did. For the future. tears, no more sorrow. We go shine the light, the truth must show. Come on, talk together, we go grow. Feel the rhythm, feel the beats. Come on, talk, where the minds go meet. Come on, talk, this now we voice. Armies look, we they make the choice. From politics to health, we stand firm. Migration and vibes, we they come from. Come on, talk, I'm the place to be. We they young, I'm clear for you and me. Come on.